Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today let's talk about my February TBR slash hopefuls. So I know that February is a shorter month. That does not mean that we cannot be ambitious with our reading. I'd rather have a pool of books to choose from than not. I am an in-between reader where I am a bit of a mood reader, but I also need a little bit of structure to kind of guide me throughout the month. So that's what we have going on here. I don't know where to start. Actually, no, I do. So let's just get into it. My most important goal for this year is to continue on with series, either finishing them up or at least being like actively in the middle of them where I can really engage with the book and not kind of forget what I'm reading. I start a lot of series and then I just don't continue, and then I don't remember anything that happens in book one because I read so much. Let's start with series. I have 3 series that I'd like to get to each month. This month I've chosen to continue on with the Farseer trilogy by Robin Hobb. This is Royal Assassin, the second book, and we follow our main character Fitz in this one, who is the son of the king in waiting. So he's the son of a prince, but he's a bastard, and that causes a lot of problems for Fitz and for the royal family. This is one of those series where you can't really give like a succinct summary to. You just kind of have to get into it. But Fitz does get the opportunity to be the assassin's apprentice. That's his story. Really cool magic, world building, and Robin Hobb's writing, like once you get into it, is so not easy or breezy, but like it's so readable. At least to me it is. I started this one early and I'm about 97 pages into it. I'm really enjoying it. And I'm starting to see the problems that people have with Fitz as a character, not because Robin Hobb's not writing them well, but because Fitz is he's going through a lot, so he has a lot of choices to make. I can see why people are starting to get frustrated with him or have been frustrated with him. This is my first instance of me seeing that. Another series I'd like to get back into, and it's actually just a continuation because I read book 1 last month and I really just want to go on, is the second book in the Keeper of the Lost City series by Shannon Messenger. This is book 2, Exile. I had such a fun time reading book 1 last month. I want to just keep going. I honestly just wanted to like continue on with the series like right then and there when I read book 1, but I thought I should pick up my other books that were on my TBR. This is a middle grade series and it is high fantasy, and it's actually very like detailed and like world building heavy for a middle grade series. We follow our main character Sophie, who is really smart for her age and has skipped a couple grades, but that means that she doesn't have a lot of friends her age or any friends at all. And she meets someone and kind of figures out that she may not be a normal person like the rest of us, and she gets swept off into this like fantastical world with elves. It's a really cool almost like sci fantasy series, because the way that the magic is explained is more science-y than just like wand waving or anything. Really fun world. I'm really excited to get into this one. It's so readable, obviously, because it's intended for a much younger audience than me. And the next series I'd like to continue on with is the Southern Reach trilogy with Acceptance, the third book, in which originally was a trilogy. The author has since continued on with this world. I don't know if I'll continue on after book 3. I really enjoyed Annihilation. I didn't quite love Authority. I liked parts of it, but it was a little bit of a letdown, and I'm not quite not that I'm not excited. It's not that I'm not excited to continue on with this series, but I'm just wary. I'm a bit apprehensive of how this series was originally going to wrap up. The series follows this very weird area called Area X, where there's like weird plants and animals, and you really see that in the first book. We'll see how I feel about this one. I really do like the author's writing. I think that's why I've continued on, so we'll see how it wraps up. Something that I started implementing later last year was trying to read 1 nonfiction and 1 classic each month. The nonfiction has not been going well, but I'm still optimistic. This is a carry-on from last month's TBR, and that is Blitzed by Norman Ohler. This is supposed to look at the use of methamphetamines and cocaine and just a bunch of drug use during the Third Reich, and how that contributed to any part of that. Really interesting topic that I haven't really heard a lot of people talk about until recently. Yeah, that's my approach to nonfiction, is whatever topic sounds really interesting, I'll pick it up. I'm still very new to reading nonfiction since I haven't been in the past like 10 years or so. And the classic of the month is Emma by Jane Austen. I did technically start this last year. I only got 20 pages into it and then I put it down and I was never motivated to pick it back up. I've noticed that for some of the genres that I don't usually read from, classics, nonfiction, I kind of just have to push aside the mood that I'm feeling, because I'm always in the mood for like speculative fiction. But I do really enjoy Jane Austen's writing. I've only read Pride and Prejudice, but I thought it was really fun and like funny, and I've heard that Emma's really funny as well. It's always awkward to explain something that's so in the literary canon, but we follow Emma, who is convinced she's going to be a spinster for the rest of her life, and she really likes playing matchmaker, and I'm assuming that's going to get her and other people into trouble. Every month I try to do a like reading vlogging project, and if you watch my TBRs like you are right now, this is the project that I'm hoping to get to, so it's a little bit of a spoiler, but I would really like to do an author binge where I just read a bunch of books from one particular author. And this month I've chosen to do P. Djeli Clark. This is an author that I've had my eye on for a long time, and I think this month, despite being shorter, this is a perfect month for this author because a lot of his works are very short. He is most known for Ring Shout, which is about KKK members who are also demons. I don't know if they're demons because they're KKK members or they possessed by demons because they're like more evil than your natural human, but this is his most known work and a lot of people really enjoy this one. I also have the Dead Cattail Assassins. I believe this follows an assassin who's been given a job but is a bit difficult, and if she doesn't complete it, she herself is on the chopping block. I also have from P. Djeli Clark the Black Gods Drums. I think this is like a steampunky type book, or novella, and we follow our main character who's part of an airship, and she has an Orisha in her, and that gives her some sort of magical, powerful abilities. And the books I'm most excited to read from this author is The Haunting of Tramcar 15 and A Master of Jinn. I think these both take place in the same world. I think these take place in 1910s Cairo. They're a mystery series, and there's also speculative elements, which all of that is up my alley. All of that is just so me. So I'm really excited to get to these two in particular, but in general, I'm really excited to get to a lot of the work from this author. I think this is a good chunk of his work. I think he has some books published for younger readers, but this is very much me. I'm very excited to get to this author, and hopefully I get to that vlog soon so you all can watch it. This year is also the year of me really utilizing my library for anything and everything that seems even remotely interesting to me. Books are very expensive and I'm trying to save up money, so the library is going to be like my place for this year. Not that it hasn't been, but more so than usual. So I have a stack of library books. These are books that are for mood reading. If I am in the mood to pick up any of these, just pick them up and start reading. If I don't get to them, that's fine. I could always pick them back up from my library. These are the ones that I'm currently feeling like I'm in the mood for. I have Hungerstone by Kat Dunn. This I didn't know was a Carmilla retelling. I've seen the cover before, did not know it was Carmilla. We follow a character who's been married to her husband for about 10 years. I think he's like a steel magnate or something. They decide to move to a more rural area for whatever reason. I don't know if business is bad or for some reason, and a woman shows up on their doorstep like Carmilla, and I think there might be like vampire elements as well like Carmilla. And then I also picked up A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping by Sangu Mandana. I read the first book in this universe, this series of books, last month, and I really enjoyed it. I think I gave Witches, The Secret Society of Irregular Witches 4.5 stars. I haven't heard as great things about this one as the first book, but I'm still really optimistic because of the writing. The writings what really drove me to give that last book a high rating, and if the writing stays the same, I don't imagine I have a bad time with this one. It's a cozy fantasy. I believe we follow a witch who brought her aunt back from the dead, and that got her into a lot of trouble, but now her and her resurrected aunt run an inn. Cute cozy stuff happens. We'll see. I also picked up Vampires of El Norte by Isabel Cañas. I read her last year. I read The Hacienda and I really enjoyed the writing. The first chapter of The Hacienda, it was one of the best first chapters I've ever read. So beautifully written. I ended up giving that book 4 stars. It didn't really wrap up the best, but I am still really eager to read more of this author's work. I know she doesn't have a huge backlog, but I want to read everything that she's written. I'm really excited to read Possession of something, but this is a vampire novel, I'm assuming, and I'm really excited to get to this one as well. I'm excited to get to all of these. I really want to read more from this author. Another author that I absolutely adore is Silvia Moreno Garcia. This is The Seventh Veil of Salome. I've read a majority of this author's work, or at least half, and I've been wanting to really cherish her works and not binge through them. This book takes place in 1950s Hollywood, and we follow the casting of this iconic female lead role that a lot of people seem to covet, and the director gives it to this young unknown Mexican ingenue, and we follow a couple perspectives: the young Mexican woman who was cast in this role, this other woman from Hollywood who really wanted this role, and then we follow the actual character that has inspired this Hollywood film called Salome. Yeah, I've had good experience with Hollywood centric films. I am a bit of a pop culture person, but those are just my library reads. Again, if I don't get to some of these library books, that's totally fine. These are just kind of like on the table if I'm in the mood for them. Yeah, those are pretty much all the books that I'm looking to get to this month. I know it's super ambitious for February. I'm fine with not getting to everything. I don't see it as like a failure or anything. Any chance that I get to read anything is absolutely wonderful. I like having choices, obviously, as you can tell. Let me know what you think of my TBR. What is on your February TBR? I'd like to hear anything you have to say down below in the comments. I will also link my social medias down below, as well as some far more important links. Feel free to like, dislike, comment, or subscribe, or do neither. It's all cool with me. If you don't know what to say, leave an emoji. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.